For our study of elementary statistics at the beginning here, we're also looking at how to represent data in some ways that graphically will inform us. One of those ways is called a box plot. So when we do a box plot, we need to look at our data, and the first step is to list the numbers in order. This will allow us to find things like the median. So we have a 5-number summary that we do for these box plots. So I'm actually going to put a title over here. This 5-number summary is going to, when we ask for it, we're looking for the minimum number, which is the first number when we list them in order, the maximum number, which is the last number once we list them in order, and then the median, which is the middle number. Now this is important because in order to calculate the median, we first look at that middle number if it's an odd number, because then you have an easy way to find that middle number. But if there's an even number of numbers in your list, so if an even number in the list, you want to instead find the middle 2 numbers and average them. Average the middle 2. Okay, so this will allow us to find a median for it, and then once we have the median, we can find what's called quartile 1, which we can list as Q1, and quartile 3, which is oftentimes called Q3, and that's the Q1 is the median of the lower half of the bottom half of numbers so all the numbers below the median, we take the median of that, and then the quartile 3 is the median of the top half of numbers. So we find the median, look at the top half, find the median of that set of numbers. That will get us Q3. So the interquartile range, since the Q1, the median, and Q3 separate the numbers into the lower 25%, the next 25%, then the next 25%, and then the upper 25%. So into quartiles, that's what 25% of the data in each of those 4 groups. The interquartile range is the middle 50%, and it's found by doing Q3 minus Q1, and it's the middle 50% of data. Middle 50% of data falls between those 2 numbers, and so this gives you how far apart those 2 numbers are. So we'll use a box plot that will look like this. Box plots use these 3 numbers. We list the minimum here at the end of this. It's called a whisker. This is called a box. This is another whisker. So the max is at the top of the upper whisker. The median is right here in the middle of the data. It's not necessarily in the middle of the graph, but the middle number in the data is this bar right in this box. And then this is Q1 listed on this end of the box, and this is Q3 on the end of this box. We have 25% of the data here, 25% of the data here, 25% of the data here, and 25% of the data here. That's why they're called quartiles, because there's 1/4 of the data in each part of that data sets. This is also just, it's called a box plot, but it's also called the box and whisker plot. Just a longer name for the same thing. We call it a box plot or a box and whisker plot. So here's an example. We'll look at this data set. These numbers, we have to first of all remember, list them in order. So what I like to do is find the smallest number and then cross it off and then put it in the list. And when I list them out in order, I have 240 as my first number. And again, what I do is I cross it off just to keep track of it. 244, and then I'll just keep going. 249, 253, 256, and there's two of them, 256 and 256, so make sure you list both of them. 258, 259, 262, 265, 268 comes next, and then 270 and 271. Now let's count real quick. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 numbers in my original set. Here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 2 double checks, cross them off as you're coming up with them, and then count them again to make sure you've got all of them. Now, once we do this, we can list our minimum, that's 240. We can list our maximum, which is 271. Let's find our median. So if we got 13 numbers here, we're gonna come in 6, and we'll have that 7th number from either direction will be the middle number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our median. So our median is 258 for our this data set. Now we need to do the quartiles, and what I'll do is to illustrate that is to point out that these numbers here, these bottom 6, I'm going to find the median of them. So if I look at the median here, I then look at the data below it. I take the median of that data set. Well, that means I have to take these two numbers, 249, 253, and I've got to average them. Got to add them together, divide by 2, because these two are the 3 in from each side. When I average those two, I get 251. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. For these 6 numbers, I'm going to take the middle 2 numbers here, 265 and 268, divide those, add them together, divide by 2, and when I do that, I get 266.5 for my 3rd quartile, okay, Q3. Now let's go ahead and do our box and whisker plots. Again, we're gonna lay off units on a number line. We don't do, this isn't a vertical graph, it's just a number line graph. So my lowest number is 240, so I'm gonna just mark it off by 5. So 250, 255, try to keep your units pretty much standard. 265, 270, so 240, 250, 255, 260, 265, 270. Okay, and I have to go all the way out to 275 to get my maximum in there. Okay, all right, so now once we've got these numbers on my graph, I'm gonna go ahead and draw the box first. Well, the box I've set up between Q1 and Q3. So I can go 251 is right about here. So I set up my box right there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with, let's make sure we include all of our numbers here. So get this one here. So I'm gonna go by 5s. Let's make this 245 and then this 240. Okay, all right, now there's the end of that box. I'm gonna go with my end of the other one at 266.5, so that would be out here. So draw a box just a rectangle representing the middle 50% of the data. Okay, now once I've got that, I'm going to go ahead and put the median. The median for 258 falls right about here. So I'll label those. This is our median for the graph. This is our Q1. This is our Q3. Now let's do the min and max, or the whiskers at the end. So I'm going to draw this one all the way out to 240. For this whisker, this is the min. And then the max is out at 271. So I'm going to draw this out to here. And that's my max of the graph. All right, so I look at this and I've got some summary data that I put into what's called a box and whisker plot. I do it first of all by organizing my data and finding the 5-number summary for it, and then plot those 5 numbers on a number line by putting a box for the middle 50% and then the whiskers on the side that represent the upper 25% and the lower 25% of the data.